Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Riyaadh. And in this next video, I actually want to be going to be talking with one of my clients, Vegard, who is in actually one of our programs called High Level Consulting. And he basically joined us in January as an ecom consultant, looking to basically make his offer better, learn how to actually market it and get more clients, and basically just start signing clients at higher tickets. I'm gonna leave it at that, and I want you guys to watch the entire video. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers. But other than that, I look forward to you guys enjoying the video. And yeah. Yo, dude, how's it going? Good?
I'm good, yeah. I'm super good.
Sweet, man. So everyone that's watching, this is Vegard, one of my clients, who joined us in January, correct?
Yeah, I think in mid-January somewhere there.
Yeah, around January, and since then we've helped him add an extra 16K in rev to your business.
Yeah.
And how much was that? Like, how much cash collected was that?
It was about 7K cash collected at the time.
Gotcha. So I mean, before we even get into that, I think all the viewers would want to know like a little bit more about you and who you are, what you do, and stuff like that. So just take it away, dude.
Yeah. So I was transitioning from the typical Facebook ad e-com agency like you see thousands of nowadays, or trying to do the same thing. And I was stuck in between different outreach methods in order to book the meetings, and didn't really have a concise and precise offer as well. I'm sure you remember that when we first started. It was like very vague and like, yeah, didn't really resonate with anyone really. Um, and yeah, I tried email outreach, tried Instagram, tried Facebook, tried LinkedIn, like you name it. Um, and then yeah, obviously got in touch with you and decided to take the leap of faith and jump in. And I have been burnt in the past as well, like many others. But yeah, it worked out good, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, before we jump further along, I mean, you said you took the leap of faith and
Yeah.
you did burnt in the past. Why did you take the leap of faith?
Good question. Good question. I felt like obviously you've been there, done that, right? So you already you have proven track record of sort of getting the results, booking the meetings, and closing the deals. Not necessarily in the same niche as me, but still results is happening. And you've done it in multiple niches, I believe, right? So you must be doing something right. That's what I thought, right? And then yeah, I'm sure you remember I was very, very hesitant in the beginning. I think we had like, what was it, like 2, 3 calls or something before I jumped on.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, happy I did. I think it took like 5, 6 weeks in order to get the first client. And then over the next 2 weeks, they just kept on coming. So there were like 4 of them over the span of 2 weeks there, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, you said it took you 6 weeks. So everyone that's watching this, at least they know it's not a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
It took you a good 6 weeks, right, to get
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
first client. But when you got
Yeah.
your first client, what was the momentum like after that?
The momentum was really crazy. Like, these a lot of people don't think they have to work for it, but obviously you have to work for it. And you made that very clear as well, right? There was no, like, the expectations were very super clear. But like the momentum stacking up behind after, not just in terms of clients, but in terms of like what I've done in the past in meetings and meeting sets, content, created, like every like little small steps that just adds up, and then all of a sudden I got a client, and then a few days later I got a new client, and then a week after I got 2 more, right? So yeah, the board just kept rolling really. And it was a new experience to me. I've signed clients in the past, but I haven't signed those big deals in such short time frame
Yeah,
in what I did there.
I think you sound like 2 clients back to back, like within
Yeah.
the space of 2 weeks, something like that. And then I
Yeah.
also messaged you one of the days, just before you had a demo, bro, you're gonna go and close them. And then you messaged me a couple hours later. Yeah, closed. And I
I
was
did,
like,
yeah.
yeah, or just continue with the momentum and continue. So, dude, I mean, you've been in loads of different programs. I've been in loads of different programs. What's different? Like, what changed in this program that actually got you the results? That actually got you the cash in the bank? Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think I've done a lot of courses in the past, right? And like I knew I had to invest into someone or something again to get like new results, because what got you here won't get you there type of mindset, right? But I didn't want to invest in like another course, right? I felt like I was done with the course thing, just sort of watching the content and then trying to do implicate it and like implement it and do it myself, really. Like I didn't want to go down that path again. Probably waste tens of thousands of dollars down that path without much results. All right, so I was very determined that okay, I'm more than happy to invest, but I want it to be with someone that I actually have access to,
yeah,
right? Because we jumped on calls, we still do. We have conversations on WhatsApp like every day almost, right? Or a lot of days, right? Which I didn't have access to before, because these other courses are like with big gurus who like don't have time for the students. They've got like thousands of students,
yeah,
right? And then also when you've got thousands of students coming in, the information becomes very generic.
yeah,
And also a lot of courses were created for like multiple years ago, right? So a lot of the information is outdated as well. Um, so yeah, that I felt like the one-on-one touch is the key difference.
the key difference to actually being successful from not being successful based off your.
Yeah, yeah, because obviously you can get all the information in the world within the courses, but when you stumble across on obstacles and challenges, like a course won't help you overcome that, right?
Yeah,
What's going to help you overcome that is asking someone who faced it before,
yeah,
right? Which you
definitely.
get for the one-on-one.
Yeah. And what else, like, from your experience so far? I think you've been in it for what, January, February, March, 4 months now.
Yeah.
Um, what's it been like inside so far?
So far, it's been good. Can't complain at all. It's there's a lot of. I also feel like when you discover new things, you also share it, right? So you don't hold on to it yourself. Obviously, you test it out for you first, and then you share it. But you still share it whenever you discover a new strategy, a new approach, and then you're just reaching out saying, "Hey, I've tested this for 2 weeks now. It works great. Do this
Yeah,
yourself. See how it works."
yeah,
Right? It's very proactive, and that's how it needs to be done, because the market changes all the time, and there's new people coming in to the market trying to do the same thing. Certain approaches get saturated, so you always have to sort of diversify and always have to change things up.
you always
To
have to be ahead of the game, one step
yeah,
at least ahead of the game.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of e-com done with you or done for you people out there that are still going around in circles, and that you were one of them before you even joined. And it's great to
yeah,
see how within like between 6 and 8 weeks, you got like 4 clients back to back, back to back.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, besides all of that, like where you at right now, what's next for you, and yeah,
Yeah. So obviously we've got VA on board. Stoked about that, taking care of sort of the tedious tasks within the business, so I can focus on sort of creating things instead of consuming things. Because I was a big consumer in the past, and like to be fair, I still am a consumer, right? I consume a lot of different things, but I'm slowly transitioning to being a creator rather than a consumer.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I feel like it's the right steps to take. And also you are a little bit ahead of me, but you're not too far ahead of me. That makes it very reliable what you do, and like super simple to see like the path that I need to take, see the path where I want to take as well, and not necessarily the same way but as yours, but sort of still remains the same frameworks, right? um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And you touched a little bit about a VA.
Yeah.
So I think we onboarded the VA for you. So since you've had the VA up until now, how's that been going as well for you?
Yeah, no, VA is super reliable, doing the work that she's supposed to, checking in, sort of updating me on what is she's doing, and also I am like coming with feedback whenever there's things I want her to test, adjust, make some changes here and there, right, which there always will be. And she's very, very responsive to that, answers straight away. She does what she's supposed to do. So
Yeah.
can't complain about that at all.
Yeah. You then, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm loving the consulting way of doing the business. I feel like I have a more impact and I have more control of the results that can be done. And I have more interaction with my clients, which like the interaction with the clients is what I love the most, really. So I'm going to continue down that path for sure, creating some new tier products or programs or whatever you want to call it, so that I can help even more people. And then yeah, it's just scaling, really. Just make sure the foundations is good and ready to scale, and then just scale up, book more meetings, bring in more team members, yeah, close more calls and have a bigger impact, really.
So before you joined us, Hello Consulting, right? You were an agency, and then I mean, you were slowly pivoting into consulting. So, I mean, why did you go from done with you to done for you? And how has that affected your business as well? Like, how has it affected the mindset, the clients you've been getting, and all of that stuff? And just talk us through that as well.
Yeah. So when I did the done for you, working with ecom brands and stuff, I had a media buyer on my team. It was really good, nothing wrong with him. But the clients I was able to get, they weren't like top tier client, meaning that they didn't have budgets to run proper advertising on, right? So it was very limiting what we were able to do because of the budget itself.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to consulting, it's just a one-time fee, or it can be multiple, but how I structure it as a one-time fee, and over a period of time, which is much more lucrative for the client itself, but also it allows me to sort of do what I need to do for that client in that period, because there's nothing stopping me from doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And what
Right.
kind of clients? I mean, you said with the done with you, you were signing clients that were lower a lot lower brands. So what kind of clients have you been signing with your consulting offer?
With my consulting, it's been a bit of both. I have a couple sort of startup clients as well, for sure. But I also have got six-figure clients. And I've spoken to this is a while back, but I've spoken to a brand that turn over like 500 million a year, right? So I'm sort of getting in touch with more bigger brands, and sort of seeing the opportunities for a lot more things that I can do than just sit behind the computer and sort of, yeah, just come up with some strategies of advertising. Like for example, one of the clients that I'm talking to right now, a potential client I'm in process with, that you know about as well. They are like a huge brand. They've got warehouses in like 17 different countries across the world, and they're expanding to, yeah, I don't even know how many more, right? So they're like super big. So a lot higher tier clients, and they're a lot more fun to work with as well,
Yeah.
because they won't be hassling you every single day with like small questions, right?
And with that higher tier client you just told, I think that's like a 15-20K deal, right?
Yeah, it's still set to be sort of, it's in the negotiation phase, really, in terms of what it is that I'm actually going to do for them and help them with. But yeah, it's looking like anywhere between 10 to 20K, I'd say. Yeah.
And that would obviously be upfront cash collected. That wouldn't be like over a couple of months, because you got to put your time in before
Yeah.
you got to. There's a lot of moving pieces in that as well, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, so And how the clients treated you? I mean, so I mean, you talked a little bit that it's better to do consulting over an agency, but in terms of treating you, do they treat you like an employee, or like how's that been as well?
Yeah, funny you asked that. I had to think about this earlier today actually, but um like when you do consulting, I noticed that I get the authority perspective a lot more than what I did when I did the agency. Because when you're running the agency and it's sort of like a monthly expense, it becomes more of a liability, right? You said this to me as well, like a few days ago. I think we discussed this. But you become more of a liability and more of an expense,
Yeah.
rather than like the authority. So like, yeah, just like you said, the employee versus the
Rather
consultant
than
expert
yeah,
ratio now.
yeah, rather than someone like with an agency, I feel like you become a liability if you don't bring them more than you're actually charging them that month, then you
Yeah,
become a liability. But when they pay you like a 5 figure or a 4 figure sum up front, because they've bought in financially a lot more into you and into what you're gonna help them do, they treat you like a consultant and someone with a lot of authority. So whatever you even tell them to do, I mean, I think you've experienced that as well with all your clients, because they're higher ticket, they're more financially invested. Whatever you tell them to do, they're going to do it, and you've seen that with the results of your clients as well so far, right?
yeah, for sure. So with one of my clients in particular, um, we're building out, or no, it's done though, but we've built out this email sequence and stuff for Mother's Day, right, which is happening in May, for some parts of the world. Um, and she booked in a call with me each time she wanted to make adjustments, or each time she had an idea of what it is that she wanted to do, because she's obviously, she sees me as the authority perspective and she values my say and sort of the knowledge that I have and the experience, right?
Mm.
Whereas with a if I were to do the same thing with an agency model, where we would build it out for them, for example, they wouldn't sort of be as invested into it. They would just look at, or whether or not that produced results. If
Yeah,
it didn't produce results, then you suck, right? If it did produce
exactly.
results, then that's what you're supposed to do. But when it's consulting, it's a little different.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen that as well when I've helped my own clients,
Yeah.
other clients that I've got. I mean, other than that, have you got anything else that you want to say to everyone that's going to be watching, dude?
Um, I think it's important to take the leap of faith. Like, don't be afraid of asking for help, right? I used to be afraid of asking for help, but once you do, and even if it's going to put your back up against the wall, that's even better, really, because that is allowing you to push even harder, because then you have to push, right? Because you've got everything to lose, so you have to make it work,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. I would definitely have a combo for sure.
It's like one of them things where when you put yourself in that uncomfortable position, you want to take yourself out of that uncomfortable position because we're not used to being uncomfortable. We want to be more comfortable.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's also comes down to a lot of your success. You were quite uncomfortable and hesitant when you took the leap of faith, but you said, you know what, I'll test it out, I'll see how it goes, but I'll
Yeah.
commit to it. And this is where you are today, dude. Like you're gonna be scared. I think within the next couple of months, 20K per month will be a new norm for you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I don't doubt that any day. Yeah, it's about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Really, that's all it takes. And also, um, not being in a mindset where you think you know it all, right? Because then you're bound to lose if that's what you're thinking. Really.
Mm-hmm. And one last question, and then we can wrap this up, which is what was the I mean, what was the key things that either I helped you do that or that you realized when we worked together over these last 4 months that added to your success or that even added to where you are today and moving forward?
I think a lot of it comes down to simplicity, right? Don't overcomplicate things. Right? Just keep things simple, do the task that's going to move the business forward first. Make sure that's done properly. If you've got time, you can do other things as well, but do the task that's going to move the business forward and keep it simple. It doesn't have to be as complicated as you might think it has to be.
Yeah, definitely. And since you've been keeping it simple, you're signing more clients than you can think.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in the space think that having all of these different outreach, man. Oh yeah, and one more thing I wanted to touch on was, what platform are you using? You're only using one platform, right? To do the outreach and that you've been able to send the clients from, right?
Yeah, now it's purely one platform.
And before you were using what, 3, 4?
Well, I was testing them in between, so I would only focus on one platform at a time, but I would just like spend 3 months on one platform. If that didn't work, I'd move on to the next platform, thinking that the reason it didn't work was because of the platform and not actually because of my approach and what I had to say and stuff like that. Which allowed me to test a lot of different platforms over the course of 12 months. But yeah, now it's only one platform.
And over the course of those 12 months, it didn't really make a difference to the businesses. It was just you spinning wheels again and again, testing different platforms, right?
Yeah. And then when you switch platform, you're starting from scratch again, right? So
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people think they need to be omnipresent and they need to have 3 different platforms running. But if you just focus on one, like one market, one offer, one product, and trust me, one avatar as well, just like Alex Omozi says, it becomes so much more easier to scale and it just becomes so
yeah.
much simple. But yeah, man. Other than that, any last words for anyone out there that's either on edge or looking to invest with us?
Yeah, just take the leap of faith, and look at it from a 6 month, 12-month perspective rather than what it's going to cost you. Like, don't look at it as a cost, look at it as an investment. Cliche thing to say, but it's true. Look into the future and yeah, just jump into it.
Sweet, dude. Again, thanks for jumping on, Vegard. And yeah, take care.